Hey everybody, good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? I'm Yvonne with Southern Designs and Finds, and this is my segment with Craft Round the Clock tonight. So when you see that I'm live, if you see that red live button, you'll know I'm live, and y'all come on in and say hello. I would appreciate that. I'm going to find myself here so I can see comments. And we'll get started as soon as I see some people watching and that I know that I'm shared into the Craft Round the Clock group. How about that? So I see a few people on. And so anyway, we'll get started. Hey, Mary, how are you? Hey, Tracy, thank you for allowing me to snag this time tonight. I missed my time yesterday. Was it yesterday, Tuesday? Because my daughter was here, was going to be leaving, and I wanted to spend some time with her and get her ready to get on the road and all that. So thank you for allowing me to do that. So hey, Criselda, how are you? Hey, Janet, good evening to you too. And Lisa, hi, how are you? Hey, Lori, how are you, my sweet friend? Hey, Vicky. So this isn't my regular time, obviously, but it's a time with Craft Round the Clock, and I'm happy to have snagged it. I'm sad about the reason. One of the gals that had this time originally is sick, so I hate that, but I was able to take her place. Hi, Susan. Hey, Michelle. How are you? I know, it is. It's nice seeing y'all in the evening. Hey, Shirley. Shirley Ruff Stovall. She is a friend of mine from our old church, and Jennifer and I got to meet her on Monday. She lives near Hobby Lobby and had lunch with her and caught up. Tim taught one of her sons Sunday school, and one of her sons was in, same one I think, was in the youth group with Jennifer, so she got to catch up too. Hey, Cindy, there's my friend Cynthia Vines. Why aren't you on your business page, my friend? Hey, Kathy. Hey, Robin. Hey, Angie. So, hey, Susan. Both two Susans. And I'm glad you caught me live too. So y'all come on in. I'm going to drink the rest of my latte from Starbucks that I just kind of heated up. It was a big one. And we'll get started here. So we got 45 minutes, so that's good. I probably could have heated it up some more. I went out this afternoon, today, with a friend trying to find her some home decor. We're decorating her house, and it was a bust. We got lost and everything, but we had a good day together. We had lunch in downtown Jasper, a little town, and just went through some shops. Just didn't really see anything that would go for what she needed, but we'll continue the search, right? Hey, Melinda. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Kristen, how are you? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this. This is something that I made. There's a business page, Kingdom Makers Homemaking and Homestead. Welcome. How are you? Hi, howdy, my friend. Oh, there's Mary with Ocean Breeze and me. Y'all come on in your business page. I don't mind. This is something that I made a couple weeks ago. Y'all remember this? I found this dish at an antique store. It wasn't antique. You know, they have booths, you know, with vendors. And yeah, y'all say hello to Cindy. Cynthia Vines, that's the Shabby Heart by Vines. Thank you for sprinkling, Mary. So I ordered these are bulbs, Narcissus bulbs. I ordered these through a wholesaler. And wholesaler, they were $23 a piece, okay? For three of these, 23 each. If you've seen any arrangements made with these things, you know that they're 150 and more tops, to be made up. I don't know why they are so expensive, but they are. And, but hey, Lori, good to see you. So anyway, I'm going to attempt to make some bulbs. We'll see how this goes, okay? So this is what they're sort of going to look like, maybe. Not exactly, but sort of. But we're going to try it anyway. And I have a friend, Sherry Ratcliffe, that she attempted to do this last year, and I never got around to doing it. I can't remember, honestly, how she did it, if she used tea bags or what she did. You certainly could use tea bags. I'm just going to use tissue paper. So I'm going to begin by, thank y'all. I love those. I have been wanting to do those or wanting to have some of those for forever. But y'all, you know, I could order these and sell them, but, you know, they would be so expensive for y'all to buy. I can do it, but my wholesale cost was $23. So, you know, that's 60 some odd dollars right there just for three. You know, I think I ordered 2 sets, or I ordered 6 of them, and I made 2. I got 2 arrangements out of them. So Isn't it gorgeous? So that's my inspiration. So I just got me a pack of styrofoam balls. These are number 2. Now I did make them a little smaller, just by taking a knife and kind of shaving them down, you know, almost making them look like an egg shape, you know. And then I got some smaller ones. But if you can find a little bit smaller ones, fine. These are number 2 styrofoam balls. Thank you, Dana. I love it. I do. I know. So I feel like maybe we can make our own, you know, by doing something similar. Mine aren't going to be exactly, I did a test one, but I think they'll work. I really do. I got my little bird in there, and I got some rocks and, you know, things like that. But I do love these narcissus, and I tried to find some and just did not have a lot of luck. I found one vendor that had some, and they were sold out. So I have, now I don't know why I didn't buy more than one. I don't know what I was thinking on Monday when Jennifer and I went to Hobby Lobby. But they had these hyacinths. Now, you know, hyacinths have their bulbs too. Hyacinths are bulbs. Tulips are bulbs. And I'm going to use these little tulips that I think came from Walmart last year. They're little short ones that I'm going to clip off. So if you could get you any kind of a flower that you feel like is a bulb, that's what kind of flowers you can use. Okay, so we're gonna work with these, but I just got the one. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have gotten 3. These were like just $2.50 a piece, but you want to try to get something that has these kind of leaves. Okay, you don't want something that just has the plain old stick, you know, plain old post like that stem. You want something that's got a leaf on it, or either take some leaves off of something else you've got and glue them on there. Okay. You have instruction from Pinterest. The balls get covered with dyed tissue paper. Okay, Louise. Then the outside was coffee filters. Huh. So the balls get covered with dyed tissue paper. Well, mine are going to be tissue paper. We're going to use antique wax. Then the outside was coffee filters. Interesting, the outside. So they did 2 layers of something. So anyway, we're going to see. Yeah, Sherry did her bulbs. She sure did. It was last year she did them. I think it was last year. Anyway, she sent me pictures back and forth, and so that's where I got the idea from. And so, anyway, we're gonna attempt it here. Let me see what else she said. The smaller ones. Okay, the smaller ones were that. Okay, the smaller ones were that. So we're gonna work on these. So, I'm just gonna take, you know, these are just little dowels, you know, and I'm just going to stick that in here just for have something to, for it to hold on to. Now, I'm going to just try, well, let me get it in. I'm going to make me a little hole here just to get it to go. And this is the bottom part, that's where we can glue the roots, you know, to it. I do the Real Touch tulips. Yeah, that's about all I carry in my store. And last year I had Real Touch, and this year, and anything I buy is Real Touch. I can't even do silk anymore. Isn't that funny? But anyway, so I've just got it like that where we can work with it and paint it. So what I'm going to do first, this is just kind of how I did it. This is a whole ball that I did, okay? This is one that I did just to kind of test it out. This is done with dark wax, the Antiquing Wax of Waverly, and then I wiped it down, and you can see a little bit of that paint in there. So you could take tissue paper like this and then just glue it, you know, fold it and glue it and do the whole thing. And I thought about doing that, but I feel like the way my day's been, I think my patience is just not what it was. I think I'm just going to glue pieces, and just like I did on the other one. So, but you can take this and wrap it, you know, just wrap it, you know, basically like this. And then fold it in, and I don't know, maybe I should do that. Just, you know, fold it in and Mod Podge it, and put Mod Podge on it and do it that way. You could certainly do it that way. So, but I'm going to paint it first, I think, the way I'm going to do it. I'm doing good, Dwight. How are you? Good to see you. In that pink hyacinth's pretty. It wasn't up front where your main florals are. You walk towards the back where they have some individual ones on the shelves, you know, towards the back of the floral. Is where I found these. You know, they were just laying loose, you know, they weren't in the front where you have all the few rows of all of them that are in the cans, but they're hyacinths and they'll work. So, and I don't know if Walmart's going to be carrying any more. I have spoiled myself with the Real Touch. I have. I don't know if Walmart, after Valentine's is over, what they're going to get in for their Easter. Right now, they got very, very limited in my store. I hope that's not all what they're going to have. So I'm hoping they'll have some more tulips. So anyway, this is how we're going to begin it. I'm going to use, this is about the closest I had, other than if you took yellow and green and mixed them together. This is the Dixie Belle Farmhouse Green, okay? It's a yellow green. And I'm just going to paint the base of this with that first. And, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, and then I'll Mod Podge it, I'll decoupage it on, and then I'll probably paint it again. So I don't even know. I'm just going to paint it just to kind of, it's not really going to seal it, but it is going to, because when I was doing this one, it just seemed like it took forever. The Mod Podge was going through and doing that. I am filling in with somebody else. I sure am. You know, I had to cancel my live yesterday. And so yesterday morning, and somebody else took my spot, you know. And so I've been watching to see if any openings came available, and nothing was coming up available. I kept watching our app, Craft Around the Clock app, and so I just happened to see somebody in our Craft Around the Clock lounge, our chat lounge, where the creators talk and ask for info. And so one of the ladies had to cancel. Her name was Kathy. I can't remember her page right now. She was sick, and so she had to cancel her spot for tonight. So I asked Tracy, I said, is there any way I can take it? And she said, yeah, sure. So I said, great. So I hate the reason, but I am. So this way, at least I get to do one Craft Around the Clock live this week. I was going to do this regardless, but I'd rather just do it on Craft Around the Clock. So I'm just going to, we'll just do the one right now and then just see how time goes. Oh, I got some paint on my cheek. Anyway, we'll see how the time goes, and then if I have more time to do some smaller ones for the tulips, I will. Hey, Linda. Hey, Susie. How are you? I know. It's good to be live. I have a lot of fun with y'all. So, Gail, I'm going to attempt to make bulbs that go on the bottom of flowers, kind of like what I did here. I didn't do this, but kind of what's going on here. This is something that I bought and I made, these bulbs right here. I don't know if you can see them. So, it's not going to look like that, but I think mine look pretty realistic too, the way I did it. So, y'all do it however you want. But somebody said they saw them on Pinterest. Tulip bulbs, hyacinth bulbs, any kind of a flower that has bulbs, that comes from a bulb is what you would want to use. So we're just going to have fun with this and play with it and just see how it works. I felt like if I painted this first, maybe it would seal it just a little bit to where the Mod Podge would not go all the way through it. I was just having to use a lot of Mod Podge. So we'll see how this goes. So, Kathy Creates. I thought it might have been her, Dana. Thank you. I thought it might have been Kathy. Kathy Creates was sick, and so I'm taking her spot that she had this evening. So I thought it might have been Kathy, but I didn't want to say for sure in case, you know, it wasn't her, and y'all think the other one that was not the right one was sick, and she's not. That make any sense? I think I've had too much of this latte. Anyway, well, how are y'all doing? I know, Donna, I'm glad to see you. You're not so busy time of night. Well, good. 7 o'clock's good for you. Good deal. Debbie, I'm going to be trying to make some little bulbs that go on the, you know, for some flowers to do. I'll show y'all in a minute. Again, kind of replicate. She has the flu, Mary. Oh, does she? Oh, goodness. Oh, that's not good. I don't want to melt my styrofoam ball here. But anyway, I took a styrofoam ball and I just kind of sliced it a little bit and made it a little bit smaller than this one. You know, just a little bit, kind of almost oval shape. You know, a little bit. And you got your goodies from me today. Well, good, Donna. I hope everything came in one piece and all that. You just got back from a cruise. Where did you go, Mary? Where did you go? You're doing your centerpiece with some bulbs of maybe tulips. Good, Michelle. This is what we're doing. I know some of y'all just hopped on, but this is one I made a few weeks ago, and I ordered these from a wholesale company. These Narcissus. Can't find these to put in my store to sell for y'all. I can put these in the store, but they're going to be very expensive, you know, to get. So I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and squirt a bunch of Mod Podge in here. I hope I got more Mod Podge. I may have to go over there and get me some more. But we're gonna do this, and so we'll see how this works. I need to refill my container here, and so let me get a brush, and we will get started with this. Get my old brush here. And so I'm just going to take tissue paper, and I just, you tear it and just, put it on here and Mod Podge it on. That's how I'm going to do it, in just sections like this, instead of trying to do the whole thing. That one looks like it was done with the whole thing. So, like a piece like this, and did it up. And I may work with one of those and see how that works too, if I like it better. So we'll see how this works. I'm just going to put a little bit of Mod Podge on here, and we're just going to start gluing this on, and just see how this is going to work. So let me, I'm using tissue paper. I was thinking, something that you could use would be tea bags. I think that would work out good, the tea bags. And you have them, already stained, with tea, from the tea. You could actually use your used tea bags is what I'm trying to say. So see, I'm just gluing it on with the Mod Podge. And so, that would be something that you could do. Tissue paper. Hey, Lavender and Lace with Lori, good to see you. Oh, she just got back from a cruise. Is that what it was? I thought a bit more she got the flu. Could be, yeah. I mean, you get on a boat. That's a lot of people when they go on vacations and stuff. They come back sick. Yeah, they do. So anyway, I'm just gonna. So one of the ladies said that she saw this on Pinterest and they used coffee filters too. So, but I'm just using. This is just kind of how I figured it out. I did not see this on Pinterest, so I don't know. My friend Sherry Ratcliffe made some and sent me pictures. We talked, and she sent me some pictures, and I can't remember, honestly. Is she on? I don't know if she's on. I need to be sitting on the beach with sunshine and salt air. Girl, I know. We need to both be sitting on that beach together. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be so fun and very much needed. Oh, lovely. Put that on me. That'll come out in the wash. At least Mod Podge is waterproof. So, I mean, it'll come out. So, let me continue on with this, just covering it. And I kind of want to. Anyway, so let's see. The bowl is something she bought. Yeah, the bowl I bought from from an antique mall, where they sell, some stuff is antique, but a lot of it is just, stuff, it's not made by anybody. It's not a Lenox or anything like that. It was $18, and I thought I wanted something that had a pedestal on it, and, or something like that to where, and then I took another one. Do y'all remember seeing my bunny dish? It's a Majolica bunny dish, and I turned it into one of these. I took the other three and put them in that bunny dish, and I can post that picture again if y'all want me to. But so I just ordered these bulbs from a wholesale company, and my cost, like I said, alone was $23 a stem. They are very costly. I don't know why, but every year when I've looked at any I've seen, they've been like $60 for one. It's ridiculous, retail. And if you buy an arrangement, it's just out of this world how much it costs, So I guess because they're expensive. I mean, just very expensive. I'm just covering this with the Mod Podge, and we're going to just see how this works. I'm just playing, really, and see how this goes. Mine aren't smooth like that bulb behind me was. These are just me trying to get this tissue paper on. But you know, I don't really know how smooth bulbs are when they come out, when they're attached to these bulbs. I don't know really when, you know, the real ones. When they're attached to the flowers, I don't really know if they're smooth or not. So they look pretty authentic to me. So that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm just taking little bitty pieces here, just putting it on. And the more I layer it, I think the more wrinkles you're gonna get and everything. I think that's gonna look really good when we put the antique wax on it and then wipe it down. I think that's gonna look really cool. So, but this is my version, and this is just something I thought maybe y'all might enjoy, trying to achieve the same or similar look. I have not found any narcissus. I mean, I've seen daffodils, a few, but they were so big. They were just incredibly big. Mine back here are not that big, but the blooms themselves were just huge. But you could do them. I saw some at Hobby Lobby, and some of them didn't have leaves, so you would have to get leaves off of another flower or something and glue them onto the stem, you know, something like that, because you want leaves on them. So, okay, I think I've got this covered. And thank you for passing those biscuits. I appreciate that. So I'm just going to dry it now. I save and use my napkin plies for covering and layering. Now that's a good idea, Diane. I didn't think about doing that. The napkin plies, yeah, where you pull the plies off the regular napkin when you're decoupaging. You can't find where you put your tissue paper back. Well, I had some left over from when I was mailing these tulips behind me. So I had some left over, so I just, regular white tissue paper. But you could dye it ahead of time if you wanted to. Dye it or put antiquing wax on it ahead of time. Something like that. But that's a good idea. So, very good. Yeah, Donna, I think it'll be a cool idea. I think it's going to look cool, I think. So, I'm just going to dry it here, and then we're going to paint some more green paint on it, and see what we come up with here. I'm going to, because my bulbs back up there, they had a little bit of yellow-green showing through, and I could take my brown paint, whatever I did with it. What did I do with it? I've got brown paint that I could water down, or I can use my Waverly antiquing wax. So either way would work, I think. Either way would work. So anyway, so I've got it covered now with the tissue paper. This one I did with antiquing wax. You see, that's the whole ball, styrofoam ball. I didn't even, what did I do with my, oh, here's my paint. I could take some of this and water it down. It's a light brown, and just see how that works. You know, I might do that and just see how just some watered down paint was. Otherwise, I'll use this and wipe it back, the Waverly antiquing wax from Walmart. So I think either one will work fine. So I'm just going to take this yellow-green paint. This is called Farmhouse Green. Just what I had, you know, from Dixie Belle. When I got it, I thought it was going to be a little bit, I didn't know it was going to have that much yellow in it. So it'll take a special project for me to use this paint. But it's a pretty color. It really is. It's just not what I thought. I thought it was going to have more sage in it. But it didn't. So anyway, so I'm just going to paint it now. And then we're going to just put some either the brown paint or the antiquing wax on it. I think I might try the brown paint just to see, water it down and then just paint it on there and wipe it off. I think we'll get the same effect. So there we go. So I just painted it that color. So let's get that dried now. I'm going to get me a sip of coffee here, latte. Well, thank you, Dana. You're quite talented yourself. You've watched a lot of talented creators. You're quite talented yourself, Dana. I've seen your work, and so you know that's what it's all about. We inspire each other. So, like I said, Sherry inspired me. Sherry Ratcliffe, a friend of mine that I met through this community, and she's always sending me stuff that she's made. You know, sending me pictures and things like that. Actually, sent me stuff too. And we just talked about it I think it was last year, might have been the year before, and time just gets away from me, but I thought it was last year. You have plenty of napkin plies from your beautiful napkin bundle. Well, I ordered my last few little ones. I think I'm going to do 9, I think, 9 or 10 napkins. I'm not going to do a full 15 or 20. That's just too many napkins. But I am going to be offering a spring napkin bundle again. I haven't done that in a year and a half, something like that. So, well, some people have asked me, and so I said, well, we'll give it a shot. Whoever buys them, and I'll just have the napkins they'll be in the store for whenever people happen to see them, you know. You just bought the bird cage? Oh, yay, Gail. I haven't looked at my computer today to see who's ordered what, you know, but I knew I had 2 or 3 left. I do know that. And, you know, so I love that cage, the song. And you can use it as a lantern, you know, so, yeah. Okay, so I've got it painted now, so I haven't decided. Let me just see what this would look like if I painted some. I know I can do the antiquing wax. That's not a problem at all. I know I can use the Waverly antiquing wax, paint it on there, and then wipe it back off. So I thought I would just take some of this and water it down, and it's just this is called mocha something, Madagascar mocha. It's just a light brown. So I just thought I would just try this and just see how this will work. And so we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to add me a little bit of water to it and just make it a little bit thinner and see what this looks like. It may be a bust, but that's what it's all about, right? Just trial and error. I might be able to put it on there full. But I'm going to try a little bit thinner layer here, just a little bit thinner, and just see what this looks like on there. So I'm going to paint it on, and then I'm going to wipe it off and just see what this looks like. So I'm going to do that. Let me go ahead and wipe off a little bit of this before I get too carried away before it dries. That's the nice thing about the antiquing wax is it doesn't dry as fast as paint does, you know, so I'll just try it. So this is going to give me a lighter look. You see that? It's pretty. And if I want to go darker, I could. So I'm going to just put it on and wipe it back off. So I want some of that yellow-green to show through a little bit. And I mean, I guess you could just dry brush some on too. But y'all just, you know, look at bulbs and see what they look like. Take you a screenshot of some bulbs and just kind of see what they look like. And I'm just going to go back over that again and then wipe it down. And then just kind of try to replicate it as best as you can, you know. And kind of go from there. So I don't know. It looks okay. I think I don't know, maybe I like the darker with that. Anyway, so see, I'm going to just try to, I wonder if I sprayed dampen this a little bit, if that would help too. Get some of the paint back off of it and just see. Oh yeah, that looks good. That helped to do that. So see, it's starting to. Oh yeah, I like that. Now I like the way that looks. Just enough to. I like that. So I'm gonna just kind of. You could probably dab this on, too, and get that. But yeah, that looks good. This is me. This is not doing the antiquing wax. This is just a little bit different look. But I do like that. It looks like a potato. Well, thank you. Yeah, I guess kind of look like a potato, doesn't it? But anyway, so I wanted some of that to show through. But here it is with the antiquing wax. Do y'all like the antiquing wax better? That looks like a potato too. But, so let me just see. That's with it doing it that way. Let me just paint on some antiquing wax and just see what that looks like. And see if I like that better, you know. So just wipe some of this on and wipe it back off. But I like to wipe it back because that's when you start seeing the wrinkles on here. You know, you start seeing those wrinkles. And so let's see. How are we doing on time? We doing good? So that's a little bit darker, a little bit. I think I might like the antiquing wax on there better. So maybe if we get time to do another one, I might do that. So we'll see. Anyway, that's what we got there with a little bit of that green, yellow green showing through. I like that. I think I like that look. So, you know, just put it on there and just kind of dab it on. You could use glaze on this. If you've got some glaze, you could do that. But I like it showing when you wipe it back off is when you get that, you can start seeing all the wrinkles and stuff. See how that looks? I like that. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to use that one. It's going to be a bit lighter. You like the darker, yeah. So, I mean, I guess you could also dry brush some other green on there, or something green or something like that. But just play around with it. That's what we're doing here. We're just experimenting. But I think I like the lighter. I mean, the darker better, I think. So, yeah, I think so. That looks more realistic to me. Having it, yeah. Oh, yeah, that looks better. So, we will go with the antiquing wax, or if you've got dark brown paint, just use that. But I do like that. That looks better. So, let's see. What else do I need to do it here? It looks more like dirt, you know, like it's been in the dirt, you know, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, that looks better. I think the darker the better. So we'll go with that. How about that? So I've got that. So let's get that dried, and we will. I'm blowing all my tissue paper away. Are they real? I've planted has the darker. Any of the real ones you planted have the darker color. Yeah, it just had a little bit of that greeny yellow in those. Now that doesn't mean anything. Onion. What is it? Onion paper. Onion paper would work. I've heard of onion paper. I don't know where you find that, but onion paper would really work good, I think, too. I really do. I think something like that, or tissue, like I said, tissue paper or tea bags that already had been in, you know, steeping in the tea would work out good, too, I think. So I'm just going to get it a little bit darker in places here, and then just wipe it down. Yeah. Wipe on, wipe off, wipe on, wipe off. That looks better. Looks a lot better. So it does look like a potato. Russet or Idaho potatoes. Yeah, they do look like more like dirt, don't they, Rosanna? Oh, guys. The lighter color looks more like an immature bulb, not fully developed. Oh, well, okay. I haven't probably noticed those, you know. But yeah. But I kind of like the lighter, too. So, anyway, we've got this one we're going to do here. And I don't know if I have time to make another one. I was going to do the small one. But let me, I might be able to do a small one. I want to do a small one for you because, so we've got that one. I want to do it for one of the, I did a smaller one here. I cut down with a knife for my tulips because they're small. So I'm going to try this. We're going to see how this works. And but the same thing you would do with the tulips, I'm going to take it and clip off most of the stem, okay? Maybe a little bit maybe right there, below where the leaves start is what I'm thinking about doing here. We'll see how this is going to go. So it's not dry enough. Let me get this dry. Not quite dry enough. Well, they do kind of look like potatoes. They do. So, at least the potatoes I put in my roast the other day, you know, those little bitty, they're not quite new potatoes. I don't know what they're called, but they're smaller than little new potatoes. I put those in my roast. And once they're cooked, they do look darker like this. So, that's for sure. But anyway, so what I would do is, I'll show you in a minute. It's not quite dry, but it'll be dry enough, right? So Just got to decide. That's going to be the bottom. So I'm going to just stick it in the top here. Just like so. Oops. And let me put some more, my fingernails got on there and got some of that off, the tissue paper off. So we've got it on there just like that. My fingernails, my fingers stuck to it. And so you've got that, just that little bulb. And then this is what I'm planning on doing, is just using some moss and gluing the moss on there, on the bottom. Let me get all this out of the way. Put the lid on that. I can see it. And all of this. Let me put the lid on the paint because I'm liable to have a big old accident here. Let me get all that. So I'm just thinking about using some moss, and I need to get it quite centered. But bulbs aren't perfect anyway, right? I know, this is a good idea, isn't it, Michelle? I like this idea. So thank you, Sherry Ratcliffe, for giving me the idea last year. She says, I'm going to try this. And so she played around with it one day and sent me pictures. And she said, well, you know, what do you think? And I said, I like it. So obviously you can make the roots as long as you want to. You know, not a problem there. Just start sticking these on there like that. And so this is how I'm doing it. So y'all, I'm giving y'all the idea. I want y'all to run with it. And if y'all got better ways of achieving the same look, by all means do that. Let me know if y'all found something that looks a little bit better. Look at that. See, that's looking pretty good to me. So anyway, just play around with this and see what y'all come up with, because y'all are just as talented, if not even more so, than me. So, you know, I get a lot of inspiration from you guys too. So see how that's looking? Trim it up a little bit. I'm going to put a little more, I think, on one side here. And I'll trim off some of the roots. And then you can take and put it on a surface, either this is something I thought would be pretty. This is the hyacinths that I got from Hobby Lobby now. I thought it would be pretty to put it like on a teacup, either in a teacup, especially the tulips. Put them in a teacup, and in the teacup itself, or either on the saucer, something like that. I think would be really pretty. But that looks pretty darn good to me. I think that looks pretty darn good. What do y'all think? See? You love it. You love the tulips you got from me, Janice? Listen, those tulips, these are parrot tulips, and I love them. I love the frilly edges. But here are the ones that came, the shorter ones that came from Walmart last year. And so, you know, this was my idea of something I thought about doing, was just, I'm going to use the smaller ones because these are smaller tulips, okay? And do the exact same thing to this and do a tulip. And maybe do 3 of them, or put 2 on one, something like that. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, is it, you know, it's not exactly like the ones I paid $23 a piece for wholesale, no. But, you know, take something like, I think the tulips would be prettier than this, but the tulips is what I thought would be prettier in that. But you could take this and put some rocks on here, and then just sit it on top of the rocks, you know, like a saucer. Or like what I did here. See, this is, I put them on a piece of foam, not styrofoam, but foam, and glued them to the foam block, and then just covered them with the rocks that you can get at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. These are rocks inside of here, and a little moss thrown in here and there. So these are the narcissus, and that's, you know, that's kind of the look I was trying to come up with. And I just think that looks super. I think that looks pretty good. It could be a little bit darker. I could still put more on there. And like, let me see. What do I have down here? Let me see. This is my pedestal from the store. But think about this. Think if you had 2 or 3, if you had 3 of these and put it on this pedestal. See how pretty that is? So you got the price tag. Everything in my house is for sale, okay? This is just to show y'all back here what's in my store, because I'm going to be styling stuff with this. But you could take rocks and put it on the top of this and then just glue this to some of the rocks, okay? And that way you're not gluing to this. Or just put some green moss down. I think that would look fantastic to put some green moss down and then glue this to the green moss. You know what moss I'm talking about? It's, I think it's green and, what is this color? It's, I could have sworn I bought some, but I guess I didn't. But your sheep moss or anything like that. I forgot what kind of moss this is called, but it's got green and it turns over time. See, it turns over age. See how that looks? It's green, but now this one's looking brown. But you just take that and put it there, but it'll be green. And then just glue that to that. See how pretty that would look? That would be beautiful. So, but I would do the green because you can see the green better on that. Or just the plain rocks, like I said. Here's some sheep moss, but it's not going to work. But you can get the idea of what the green would look like on top of that, you know, just that. So, you spent the afternoon getting chemo infusion. This makes me look forward to spring. Oh, my goodness. Who is that? Let me see who that is that said that. Who is Jan? Oh, my goodness. Well, bless your heart. I did not know you were having chemo infusion, sweetie. Well, I'm glad this is cheering you up. I really do. But see, just find you a saucer or anything like that. This is a hyacinth that comes from Hobby Lobby. $2.50 I think I paid for it. And I just think that looks super cute. But I really think, I'm just so sorry, Jan. It really bothers me. I hope you're doing well. But anyway, where was the other ones? My tulips. Let me just cut one off. But make sure you cut these at their, make sure you cut these. Oh, where did I put my cutters? Right at just a little bit below the leaf stem, you know, so you'll have something to stick it down into. But just think about how you would do this. This is a smaller one, so you would, I just kind of shaved it off with my knife a little bit. But see how you've got a smaller bulb? Just picture that covered, and then put 2 or 3 of these, or one of them, just even doing the same thing inside of a teacup. Is that not sweet? I'm going to finish one up and get a picture of it, okay? But try to get the short tulips to where when you cut the leaf, below the leaf, you've got, you know, it works out good. Not unless you want to do real tall ones. You could do real tall ones and cut them off. But anyway, just picture that with either some rocks or something. I don't know what I'll use yet, and have that inside there. I just think it would be so sweet. I mean, you've still got your tulips. They're down inside a bulb with a bulb on them now instead of just loose. But you still got your tulips, and just picture 3 of these. These particular ones came from Walmart last year. They had them in pink and then this peachy color. I hope Walmart comes out with them again once they start getting all their Easter out. I really do. They were very reasonable. But I had some in my store last year too. But anyway, picture 3 of these, or even just one in a small little teacup. How sweet and precious that is for spring. So that was my idea for that. I don't have time to get it. Cover this other one up, but that's what I'll plan on doing. I just made the bulb a little bit smaller. I just took my round styrofoam ball here and just took a little knife, or what do you call it? What do you call that little knife? I'll never remember what you call this thing. Oh, palette knife or whatever. You know, just take this. I got the longer one. Just take that, and I just shaved it off. Make it smaller, and I did it kind of like in a little bit of an oval on this one, which I felt like looked better than just the total round one. But see how pretty those are. So you just take your moss and glue it to the bottom to replicate the roots, and you've got you a pretty. I mean, I think that's a whole lot better than, like I said, I paid $23 a stem, and now they had 3 things in them. Wholesale. You know, wholesale. It's styrofoam. It sure is. Is that styrofoam? Yes, this is styrofoam. It's just a styrofoam ball. These are number 2 balls. And if you can find smaller, great. But I just cut it down a little bit. I just kind of went and shaved off a little bit off of each side, and then you can squeeze them, you know, and shape them. You can squeeze them a little bit, roll them, and that kind of thing, and get it to shape you want. But see how that's with the dark wax, and it looks a lot, you know. But you could take, like I said, I just did strips of mine because I have no patience today at all. But I don't even know where it went now. But, or you can take a square and just cover the ball. Just take a square of tissue paper and cover it that way. If you would like to do that, just take a square and you know, do it like that, and just use your Mod Podge and put the sides in like that, and then do the sides in like that. And you can even have a little bit extra at the top, and then glue it to, you know, stick it on there and then glue it to the stem if you wanted it to come higher up. But this was just the easiest way I felt like I could do that. But anyway, that's my project for tonight. So try your tulips, try some hyacinths. This one came from Hobby Lobby, and try to use the shorter ones. Why not use the styrofoam eggs from Dollar Tree? Why, you could do that. You could do that, Donna. That's an excellent idea. Yeah, cover those, paint them and cover them, and then use your antique wax or brown paint. So the key is to just wipe it off, paint it on and wipe it off. So you have a little bit of that green yellow shining through it a little bit. If you want that, you could mix up green and yellow paint, you know, and get it like that. Use coffee filters, absolutely, and you can use tea bags. Tea bags would work. Use tea bags that have already been steeped and they're already dyed, you know. So these are some things you can do. Hey, Sherry, I was talking about you. Were your ears burning? I was telling them that you had sent me pictures. Was it last year of you doing this? Where you created a ball, but I can't remember what you used to cover your styrofoam balls. But this was just something that I did, and I told them I got my inspiration from you. And somebody said they saw it on Pinterest, and they had used coffee filters. So I wasn't sure, Sherry, what you used on yours. Hey, Lisa's Pretty Little Things, how are you? So my time is up, but Sherry's the one, like I said, that I got the idea from. She sent me pictures, and she said, I'm going to try to make some of these. And so she had fun one day making them. So this is my version of it. So did you use tissue paper? I used tissue paper, Sherry. What did you use? You used coffee filters. Okay. She used coffee filters. So they were already brown. And like I said, I just ended up using the antique wax to make them, wiped it on and wiped them off. But go back and watch replay if you just hopped on. But I think that looks pretty darn good. And then just do you a set of them. I'm just showing you this because I had it back there. You know, one of my pedestals. But I think I didn't get a chance to do this, but I really think when I cover this one, this would be so sweet in a teacup. You know, I really do, because it's the perfect size. It's small, you know. So, good night, Kathy. So, thank you for joining me tonight at Craft Around the Clock, and just refresh your page and watch the next crafter that's up now. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.